Alright, we are doing a little video here. I just make videos when I feel like talking about something or when I think something's interesting. I know if I made more videos, like especially about like mixed martial arts and things, that I would get more views and have more subscribers, but I just kind of make them whenever I feel like it. Like I do try and be consistent, so my channel will grow. I try not to be lazy. But anyway, I don't go reaching for topics, and this is a topic I don't have to reach for. Okay, back around 2009, 2010, I guess 2010, I was carrying, long before I was on YouTube, I was carrying Emerson knives and lots of Spydercos. I had a bunch of Spydercos, and I had 3 Emersons. I had an Emerson CQC 7 that was black, all black. I had a Horseman, and I had another CQC 7 that was stonewashed that was in the box. It was brand new. I never carried it. I carried the CQC 7 and the Horseman. Okay, and I loved those Emerson knives. I mean, I was really into them for about a year, and something happened along the way with the Emersons where I kind of changed my thought process on them. I had the CQC 7 that after about 4 months, 5 months, and I remember I'd wave it out of my pocket a lot. I carried that knife a lot. I used it for utility. I was building a motorcycle at the time. I used that Emerson CQC 7 a lot, and I carried it everywhere with me. And the liner, from waving it open, the titanium liner had worn all the way across, and it was done. It's still locked up solid, but I sent it back to Emerson, and they put a new liner in it. And but man, I remember I was really, really into Emersons, and then I literally after 6 months, 5 months, it was probably 6 months or something like that by the time it wore all the way across and I sent it back to him. But it was almost worn all the way across after about 3 months, and then it just kind of stayed where it was. Or maybe I took it easy on it a little bit. And I started to realize, I'm like, man, these knives, they're really cool and everything. But man, I don't know, this liner wore across. I'm like, it was a little bit disappointing, I guess. My excitement for Emerson knives was way up. And I was like, man, I'm not going to buy any more of these because, it just kind of changed my tune a little bit. And eventually, like I said, I sent it off to them. They put a new liner on, but they charged me something it was either $15 or $20. I think it was $20, man, for a new liner. It might have been 15 and 5 shipping, something like that. But if you think about that, I would rather you buy a knife and they were very nice. They were really cool. They're like, oh yeah, send it back. I told them on the phone, send it back. We'll put a new liner on it, and which is really cool. And then when you get it, it locks up perfect. And Emersons have a great lockup. That titanium grips into the steel, and it's not going anywhere. I mean, I never felt unsafe with an Emerson knife. They lock up like a vault. They really do. They grip in there, and and if you know how to use a knife, it's cool. There's nothing wrong with it, At least I thought at the time, So anyway, something had happened, and I had ordered a buck 112. I have ordered a lot of different knives and owned a lot of different knives. But I had ordered a basic buck 112, and that's what I pulled out here. I've got other ones, some custom ones and things. One with that's 30V steel and stuff, but this is just a basic buck 112. And I had ordered one of these, and this was right around the time I had just gotten the CQC 7 back with the new liner. And I was like, man, you know what, dude? For $30, 35 bucks, this knife is better than the Emerson. I mean, it really is. It's just a better knife. The 428C, in my opinion, is better than the 154, the basic 154 CM that they're using. The tip of my Emerson had broke off. My very teeny little piece of my tip of my Emerson had just fallen off. I had to resharpen it. That never happened with a buck 112. This knife's been used a lot. That's never happened with the 428C. This is a superior steel to that. I don't care what anybody says. I'm talking about my personal experience. And it's 35 bucks. The lockup, you don't have to send this anywhere. You know, this knife will probably open and close for the rest of your life. So, right when I had kind of changed my tune, and I still liked my Emersons, I had them, but I ended up selling the CQC 7 I had in the box. I sold it to my boss at the machine shop. He still got it in the box, I think. And I sold the Horseman on eBay, and then I sold the CQC 7 with the brand new liner in it. I sold that on eBay. And I even put in the description, just came back from Emerson's, got a brand new liner with early lockup, and someone bought it. And right at that point, when I had switched, it was kind of funny. I said, well, I'm going to carry buck knives. And I started getting more into these knives here. Not this at the time, just 112s and stuff, 110s. And I had come across a YouTube video. Now, this was after I had kind of changed my tune. Emerson knives has always kind of been weird. You go watch a review, one person hates them, another person loves them. In my experience, the fit and finish that people used to complain about, I never noticed that. The blades are beautiful on them. Yeah, they got grind lines and things, the titanium, the way it looks, but it never bothered me. The G10, I always thought it was cool how it fit on there, and none of that bothered me. The lockup, like I said, I've always thought was extremely solid in the Emersons. Extremely solid. The way that titanium locks into the Emerson, never had any issues with any of that. But there was people that would complain. Either people liked them or they didn't. You know. But then I had come across a video called Neptune. It was NeptuneKnives, and it was like a kid who could barely even talk. I mean, this guy could barely even complete a sentence. Like, he sounded like a little bit like a nut job. I had never seen this guy before. And he had an Emerson CQC 7V, and he was taking it apart, and oh my God, he just ripped into the design of this knife and everything. And it was like the best video ever because it was so funny, but like everything he says in that video is completely true, and it's like, you know, it's exaggerated to some extent. Like I said, like I used my Emersons, and I never, you know, the handles don't just fall apart. You know, they got the screws. He points out the screws tap into the thin liners and all this, but in use, the Emerson knives, they were fine. And he points out, you know, if your knife were to fail, how there's no safety like there would be on, see, like this knife, if you were to stab through something. Now that never really bothered me. When I stab into, if you ever stab into something, you push this way if you know how to use a knife. But he did point out these things, and it's a really good video because it really it exaggerates all the flaws of an Emerson knife. It really does. But those exaggerations are not made up. They're exaggerations of the truth of what could potentially happen from carrying a knife. And, you know, like I said, my titanium liner wore out within 3 or 4 months. And yeah, I was able to get a new liner, but what if Emerson went out of business? Now all these Emerson knives are out there that only are going to last for 3 months. If you use them, if you wave them out. You know, that's the conclusion that I had come up with on my own prior to even seeing this guy's video. So seeing his video, I was like, amen, brother. Amen. Because I never really thought about some of the other things he mentioned. You know, if the knife were to close on your fingers, and none of that bothered me really, because like I said, the lockup I always found was solid. But it was a great video, and maybe a few years later, I literally saw Emerson knives on eBay that had standoffs in them. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole video. You guys, if you clicked on this, you already seen the video. And what made me think of it is I was on NeptuneKnives, and I haven't even seen this guy really. I had searched Emerson or something, and there was him reviewing a new CQC 7, and I clicked on it because I was curious, because he just tore apart when he reviewed one earlier, like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever it was. And he mentions in the video that he had taken down his original CQC 7V, the one with the tan handles that had just came out at the time, that he had taken that video down. And I said, man, that's dumb. Why would you take that video down? Because that's a part of YouTube history. That's probably the single greatest knife review of folding knives ever. And NeptuneKnives is completely right. He is completely right. And you know what? I don't think the video was too harsh, because the video he was completely honest in. He brings up another video, and I had seen that other video too, where the guy talks about Emerson's warranty and all this bullshit. That's a bunch of bullshit. You don't buy a knife because I'd seen the video that NeptuneKnives is talking about in his new CQC 7 review. I've seen that video before. And that's just some snob bullshit. Sorry to swear, but that's what that is. Oh, well, we have the superior warranty. You know what? No, you've got an inferior product, man, that the damn liner wears all the way across. That's what you got. If Emerson Knives goes out of business today, you got a damn knife that's only going to last for 3 months. Now that's a conclusion I came up with on my own when my liner wore across, and I got rid of all my Emersons after that. And I said, you know what? And I had thought about buying another CQC 7, but I would get one without the wave, because they make them without the wave, to where you would just open the knife, and the liner would probably last a lot longer, because when you wave it open, you're slamming that liner in. Not to mention you're slamming into the stop pin and everything, which is just bad. You see the stop pin on this knife? How long do you think that's going to last? Yeah, you see the stop pin? Okay. You know what I mean? This is better. But I don't even carry this anymore. I've gone to the extreme, and I think it is because of NeptuneKnives. He's right. He's absolutely right. People walking around with an Emerson CQC 8. What the heck does this look like to you? And which do you think is better? You think this is going to fold on your hand? You think your hand's not going to come up over the choil on a CQC 8? But look at the guard on this knife, you know. And I carry it like this for draw like this. This is better, man. When you start looking at a tactical knife, even though this is a hunting knife, this knife is not going to close on your hands. This frame is not going to fall apart. This liner is not going to wear across. So NeptuneKnives took down that original video, and he should not have. And everybody's seen that video. It's a legendary video, and he should have left it up. And I just thought I'd make a video talking about that a little bit, but you know, because he's absolutely right, and his channel's really grown too. That's what I noticed, man. I haven't even seen that guy's channel, but he had a lot of subscribers, and the reason is because of videos like that. So anyway, I just thought I'd make a video and talk about that a little bit, and not so much to bash Emerson knives. It's just like we need people like that, you know, that are gonna really have a good thought process and not just somebody sitting around. Like I've said that before, them spider coes. Them things are pieces of garbage. Those little screws that go in there, those things are so weak with those Torx little bits. Get that garbage out of here. I got rid of all that junk. I said that about spider co, man. That stuff is garbage. $100 for that junk. Go get yourself a real knife. All right, I'll see you guys later.